Check ride question. What is heavier, water or gas? If there's water in your gas, is it going to be at the top or the bottom? Do you know? Comment below. What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. So we're going to react to how I start my shift as an air ambulance pilot. This is a guy that works for Scotland's charity air ambulance. I will say before we start the video, I did a video just recently on a AC-135 and my scan in that thing is completely off. I fly Blackhawks, I fly Limas now, so they're all steam gauges. They're all old school dials and stuff. My airspeed and vertical speed indicator is not built into the HSI, so my scan, I was trying to scan the instruments in that last video that I did, and it was terrible. Like, I was looking for airspeed all over the place, and it was right next to the artificial horizon or the attitude indicator. So I'll try to do less of that this video, but I watched it back when I was editing it, and I was like, man, I should redo this, but at the same time, like, nobody's going to watch it anyway, so who cares? Anyways, how I start my shift as an air ambulance pilot. Here we go.
My name's Kimball, and I'm one of the base pilots here at Perth, operating on behalf of Scotland's charity air ambulance. Our shifts run from 7:30 in the morning until 7:30 in the evening, and so we report at 7:30 in the morning, unless we've had a late finish the night before. Our first task of the day is going into the hangar to commence the fuel checks. It's very important to make sure that
All right, so 7 to 7, or 7:30 to 7:30. It's kind of cool that unless you have the not rest the night before, so they're taking in like crew rest cycles, it seems like.
fuel inside the aircraft and the fuel that goes into the aircraft is free from any debris or other particles, and also that no vapour is condensed inside the fuel tanks and formed water, which could cause the engine to
Check ride question. What is heavier, water or gas? If there's water in your gas, is it going to be at the top or the bottom? Do you know? Comment below.
stop. The aircraft that we operate is very safe, and part of the reason for that is because we've got two of almost all of the main components, so that if one stops working, the other one will keep going. That's particularly relevant for the engines. We've got a twin-engine aircraft, but if there's any issue with the quality of the fuel, that can affect both the engines equally. We test for water both visually and also using a fuel testing capsule, which will turn blue if it comes into contact with any water or moisture. We also have to check the quality of the fuel that comes from our bowser, which is what we use to refuel the aircraft.
Yeah, so we check our fuel as well, but it seems like they do a way more in-depth check, it seems. But also the same, like our Blackhawks at least, we get military fuel from military fuelers, and there's so many checks and balances when it comes to that the likelihood of our fuel being bad is like super low. We still check it, but for them, they could be getting it from like a outside agency, so likelihood would be higher potentially.
And of course, part of this job is that the phone can go at any point and we get a task. And that's what happened today when we were just about to test the fuel. When the telephone goes and we get a task, and the whole crew will meet.
That's a pretty sick paint job, though. That's pretty cool.
And we'll receive information about the nature of the incident, where it is, and the nature of the medical emergency. And then we'll plan accordingly. For this call, as with any other, we did a weather check for the route. My primary responsibility as an air ambulance pilot is to safely and efficiently transport the paramedics to the scene of a medical incident, transport a patient to hospital, and then get the team and myself back to base safely at the end of the day.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Like, so I've heard of like people briefing other pilots and them being like, yeah, we're flying like potatoes today, or we're flying, you know, more or less you're flying super careful and you're being deliberate, and the fact that you're providing them care is giving them a better chance. So like being super risky is just a detriment to yourself and them in a sense. So like take your time, do your stuff, no running, no like just take your time, do a good job. On the other side of that, like our weather calls, we have usually 2 hours to plan a flight. Like if I show up to the flight facility to fly, got 2 hours to pre-flight, do a 1801, do a PPC, do all our weather calls and everything. So usually it's not like super right off the cuff with the weather. So I would definitely need some training or some like, I don't know, run through some scenarios to make sure that I was making the right decisions if I was the only pilot flying these dudes around, because you definitely do not want to get in a situation where you have to fly IFR into like a closer airport. If which I don't know a lot about hospital stuff, but I would imagine there's not a whole lot of ILSs into hospitals. So you would need to break out, essentially. I'm probably rambling.
One of the major challenges of the role is how we have to be prepared to face a wide variety of different scenarios. After returning from this mission, I had to complete the fuel checks. I'd already checked the fuel inside the aircraft before we went, and now I had to continue with checking the Bowser. Having done that, I was able to put clean, tested fuel into the aircraft. As soon as we returned from a mission...
Yeah, that's nuts. Like, just look at how much stuff that he's doing, and I think that a lot of people don't realize, like, how much pilots are responsible for it. It goes a lot more than just wiggling the sticks and picking it up and putting it down. Like, this dude's, I don't know, I don't want to say, like, mechanical engineer, but he's, like, he's a fuel tech, he's, like, inspector, he's a pilot, he's a risk mitigator, he is a bunch of things. He's not just a pilot.
The first thing we do is refuel the aircraft, and that makes us available immediately.
I might have said fuel or not, I don't remember, but yeah.
Should the telephone ring again.
There you go. So I said this is in pounds, or this is in kilograms, I guess. You can switch it. There's a button on here. I can't remember which one it is. I think it's select, but you can change it pounds to kilograms. Obviously, they're in not America, so they're going to use kilograms, but main tank right here in the middle and auxiliary tanks on the side. This is cool, man. This is a blast from the past. I learned on these things, and I don't remember really a whole lot about them, but they were fun.
Before and after every air ambulance flight, I as the pilot have to inspect all of the vital components to make sure that they appear in good working order and that there are no leaks or breakages. Because we operate at Perth outside of the operating hours of the airport, we have to have our own means of refueling the aircraft. So we have our very own Bowser, and from time to time it has to be taken up to the fuel pump to be refilled.
Dang, so he's a farmer too. So he's a pilot, he's a fuel tech, he is a inspector, risk mitigation, and he also does farming as well.
Today was one of those days that I had to get the tractor out and take the Bowser up to be refilled. Every day we'll get together as a crew and go through our morning brief. Usually do this before we fly, but today, because we had an early mission, we did the morning brief after we returned. The morning brief sets us up for the day, and we discuss all the things that can affect the operation for that specific day. It's a privilege to have this job, and I thank you for your support. My name's...
Yeah, man, that's cool. So it is a privilege. It's a privilege to fly, and I think about it all the time. Like, I'm very thankful to be in the position that I'm in, to be able to fly the Blackhawks that I get to fly with the people that I get to fly them with. So, yeah, this is a Stu's channel. Let's look at it real quick. Videos. That was just a short. He's probably got a lot of cool videos. I'm trying to just find these, like, little... And I say little. This dude's probably... He's got a 417 subscribers, so I have more subscribers than him. 32 videos, I have more videos than him, but he probably has like way more views than I have. So it's pretty nuts. Like, it's pretty cool just looking at the aviation community in general. I'm trying to find these smaller channels like myself and just do videos on them. Thank you for watching them. If you did watch, I'll holler at you guys in the next one. Peace.